Hey class, this is a video going out to my Business 230 class. My name is Ryan Bradshaw, and just wanted to make this brief video for week 2 of your small business management class and to kind of help you get things started. So hopefully by now you've had the opportunity to review the course materials and go ahead and start working on your week 1 project, or actually week 1 assignment, which is the podcast. From here, you just want to start thinking about week 2, and this video is designed to help kind of get the ball rolling for week 2. If you hadn't already learned this, which you should by now, this class is basically designing a business plan, and it's a semester-long process where we start with a PowerPoint blank template and just work your way through it week by week. Some weeks you'll be doing other things like podcasts and listening and learning in those ways, but other weeks you'll be focused on developing this business plan. And so over the next little bit, I'll be putting out videos to try to help you and give you some guidance on how to do that. So to that end, the first evolution of your business plan is going to be to design some type of business plan or concept. And what I mean by that, you need to decide what type of business you're going to be in. So give you some examples from my first time teaching this course this past spring. We had a student come up with a idea for a smoothie bar that would develop some type of organic, all-natural smoothies. We had a student come up with a idea for a sun chaser tanning chair that swivels as you're laying out on the beach, so you don't have to get up and physically move your chair towards the sun. We had a student come up with a call service, or a job placement service, where you could go and sign up through the service if you were looking for part-time work. And what this service did was, let's say that you wanted to work part-time at either Target or Walmart or Dollar General or something like that. You would go in and sign up through the service, and then you would be mandated to take some brief training for whichever store you wanted to go work at. And then you would set your availability, kind of like an Uber idea for retailers. So you set your availability. Let's say that somebody called out of a shift at Walmart, and the manager needs somebody to come stock shelves for 4 hours. Well, if they know that's coming up, and you've indicated that you need a 2-hour window in order to fill a shift in your availability, as long as they call that service and that service gets up with you within that window, you could say, yes, I can do it. No, I can't make it. And you'd be able to go in and do that part-time work. So it's basically kind of like an Uber concept for retail. Some other ideas. We had a student that wanted to set up a nightclub. So it doesn't matter, whatever idea, whether you want to create a product or a service or a combination of both, this is your chance to be creative and create an original business idea. And I encourage you to be as creative as you can be. The more creative, the more work you put into it, the more artistic. And I know what you're thinking, I'm not an artist. I'm not a great artist either, but I've played around enough with different applications that I can create something that looks halfway decent. So this is your opportunity to shine and to create something that you think is interesting and fun. And it can be anything. I'm actually creating a parallel business with you guys this semester, and I'll get into that in a minute. Well, the first thing I'm showing you in week 2 is all these different logos, because logos are going to be synonymous with whatever your business is. And you want to have something that's interesting, that's eye-catching, that's simple, that's powerful, that looks good in color and in black and white. And most of all of these logos fit that bill perfectly. And some of the best logos, most well recognized and known logos in the world, are very simple. BBC, it's just 3 blocks with 3 letters. That's it. This Nike logo is basically just a modified check mark. The UPS is a shield with the initials. Shell is a shell. I mean, all these things are very simple. The Toyota is a T and a Y in the oval. So all these logos are very simple. So I want to encourage you to look at these and think about, what can I make my logo company look like, and how can I do that? And we'll talk about that in a moment. So with that being said, you want to start out with a blank PowerPoint. And so I just opened up PowerPoint to have it available right here for you guys. And you can pick they've got all different types of templates that you can go with. And I like several of these just looking at them. And just right off the bat, I really like the organic. I like the ion. I like the slice. So I'm going to go with one of these. And which one do I want to go with? I think I'm going to go with the slice. So that is my layout, and I could pick the different types of color I want to go with. And this is actually ideal for the type of business that I want to create, or the type of product I want to create. So, and which you'll see in a moment. I'm just going to stick with that, and I'm going to hit create. All right, so now we have basically this title slide. And all you want to do for your first week's assignment for week 2, or your first assignment for your plan for week 2, is come up with a logo, a symbol that kind of encompasses what your business is. And so this is once you kind of get the ball rolling, thinking about it. It says some of the best logos in the world are simple symbols and words. And let's see. So basically, you're just creating your first logo, creating your first concept of what your business is. And so I actually, just to give you a little background of why I wanted to create a business concept or a product to kind of mirror what you guys are doing, so I can kind of give you some guidance over the next few weeks. And so I came up with an idea to create a new deck of cards, playing cards, because I like games. I've got 3 kids, and I like to try to play board games or card games with them when I get the chance. And so I grew up playing games, playing cards and checkers and chess. So I've always been interested in gaming, and I said, well, it'd be cool to create your own game. And so I went on Amazon and I bought some blank cards and some Sharpie markers just to kind of play around with the concept. And I'm still playing around with exactly how it's going to work. I've got some ideas that I think could work. But the main idea, just to give it to you briefly, is the idea of combining something like Uno with Magic the Gathering. So I've never played Magic, and the reason why, I like the idea behind it, but it seems too complicated for me. There's just a lot of rules you have to know, a lot of different things. It doesn't seem very approachable to a lay gamer, somebody that's not going to commit hours and hours and hours to it. And so for me to learn it and then teach it to my kids seems kind of complicated. But we all love Uno at my house. Uno is very easy, something you could pick up and learn within 5 minutes. So I wanted to come up with some concepts that was between kind of Uno and a Magic concept. So I started playing around with it in an art program, and I came up with this name, Superior Power Cards. I don't even know if I'm going to call it that or not, but this is kind of where I'm at with it right now. And that's one thing, over the course of the semester, you may come up with an idea, and you might say, I like this idea, but I picked this name, and I don't really like the name or the logo, so I'm going to change it. I encourage you to do that, but just communicate with me if you are planning to change things, so I can keep up. Because if you go from, say, I'm going to create this product or service, then you switch entirely to something else, or you switch the look, that could be confusing for me. So just make sure you communicate with me if you do make changes. So very briefly, and like I said, I'm still working out the logistics, but the idea is I'm going to have basically your 4 suits of cards like you would find in a regular deck. In a regular deck, you have the hearts, spades, clubs, and diamonds. But in this, you would have elemental values, things like earth, wind, fire, water. And I'm thinking about a couple extra suits like power and things like that. I'm still working out the logistics of how it's going to be played, but I can still create the concepts without knowing all the rules of how it's going to work. So, with that being said, I'm going to develop a logo real quick for the power cards and put it up there. So, first things first, I don't even know if I'm just going to start with this. Superior Power Cards. Superior Power. I guess I can italicize this a little bit. blow it up just a little bit, bold it a little bit, superior power, and I'm just going to write cards of might. And I don't even know if I'm going to call it that. That's, I like the idea of power cards. I did do some research online, and they actually do have something called a power card already that's used for children with developmental disabilities, autism and things like that, to help them, empower them to do things. But that's okay. I mean, just because something exists doesn't mean you can't come up with something in the same name genre, but be something different. So, but I may end up changing that name. We'll see. But when it gets to logo creation, I'm going to go to Google real quick and just start typing. And you can just simply type in like free logo maker. And there's tons of them out there. I mean, pages and pages and pages of logo makers. And I haven't used most of them, to be honest. I mean, like, I don't know if I've used this before. I'm going to click on it. So I will say, there's a tutorial, but yeah, I don't like this one already. It looks too complicated. I'm going to go see what this looks like. So you can play around with it and see, create your own logo online in just 3 simple steps you can make and download. Okay. All right. We'll see. Here's the rub on some of these that I have played with. You can create it for free, and then if you want a high quality download, they charge you. Do not pay for a download on these things. That you can just cut and paste the free one they give you, let you look at. So, and that's fine. Some of them you can absolutely do for free though, 100%. So I'm just gonna type in power cards and all logo categories. Let's see what kind of categories they give you. I wonder if they have power up here. If not, probably something like gaming, or let's see, entertainment maybe, education. There's a couple different things. We'll go with not kids, probably, I guess, entertainment. We'll see. Create my logo design. And so this is going to give you some generic logos to look at. Yeah, these are very generic. Yeah, I'm not in love with the site already. All right, I'm gonna try one more site because that's a little too basic. There's a couple of them up here. I saw one recently that was decent. Let's see, free logo maker. Let's try this. Okay, make logos you'd be proud of. So we'll type in power cards, and you don't have to go through this route. I have another program. Let's see, pick 5 more logos you like. So I like this concept right here. 5 or more concepts. I like that concept. I like that concept. I love this concept. And we'll pick one more just for this. Okay. So I picked 5 or more. And so how do I go to the next step? I'm going to blow this up for a second to give me more. Oh, okay, it's got continue down here at the bottom. Okay, select up to 3 colors you like. I'm just going to go with this, this, and that, just for fun. Power cards. I'm just going to type in superior cards of might. It says logos look better with shorter slogans. I'm just going to lose the slogan for now. Type something above or pick a related item to see a symbol. Search for icons. I'm just going to type in power. Search. Okay. How about elements? Yeah. So just playing around. I'm just going to pick this real quick. I want me to pick a couple. So, alright. Well, I'm going to continue to play with this, and when I'm done, I will post a picture of the example that I finished with in Moodle. But you play with your own logo design, and I'll post some additional notes, and let's see how this assignment turns out. So be creative. Look forward to talking to you soon. Have a good day.